Good, great, glorious day to you, co-creators. This is your boy, Corey Creech, the Ascending Master, and I want to thank you all so very much for joining me here on my channel. I want to also give acknowledgement to the continued likes, shares, and subscriptions to my channel. Every bit of me wants to provide you an equal exchange of honor and respect by just saying thank you and letting you know that I do not take it for granted. So without further ado, this will be a message for the astrological sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. I will start by pulling messages from your ancestors as it relates to what it is that they will have you focus on in the now, followed by what is currently going on in your life and or situation that has led your ancestors to guide you along the path that they have. Last but not least, I will pull cards from the Mystic Goddess Tarot deck to determine what the outcome will be for your future if you heed the messages from your ancestors. How miraculous and or beautiful your outcome, your life, your story can change. So without further ado, let us begin. Ancestors, what messages do you have for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus? What would you have them focus on in the now, Spirit? We thank you, we honor you, and we adore you now. What message do you have for my Scorpios, Spirit? We thank you, we honor you, and we adore you now. Give us message for my Scorpios. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, so we have two. First message is interact with and relate to your community. This is speaking of family and friends, different traditions, groups, services that you are connected to, church affiliations. There's a need for you to come out of hermit mode, come out of isolation, come out of being alone, and find yourself connected to your community, connected to the things around you, the people around you, the places around you. Perhaps you could reconnect to old rituals and or morning routines that you once did. Every bit of your ancestors are guiding you to tune in and connect. It's speaking of new verbal communication, connecting with your intuition, every bit of receiving messages from the spirit realm. There's a sense of needing to perhaps go into meditation to find time, opening yourself up to be a channel, a vessel. This is talking about enhancing your spiritual gifts, Scorpio. You have laugh and have fun. You're being guided to raise your vibrations, to smile, to keep positive thought forms and patterns in your mind, to remain in a constant state of appreciation and gratitude, which will only bring about joy into your life. You're being guided to perhaps find yourself around friends, family members, those who you could perhaps enjoy a time and or day out and about, going to the beach, going out to the club, going to give yourself a spa day. Awaken to your inner shaman. Your ancestors are guiding you to tap into your spiritual gifts of healing. This is all about connecting and awakening to who you truly are. Perhaps you are a shaman in a past life, and every bit of those gifts and abilities still reside within you, and your ancestors are guiding you to awaken to that truth, to become aware, to connect. There's a lot of messages and or guidance, Scorpio, that's having you connect. And I'm not sure if this is because Every bit of you has been disconnected from the world. But I feel like the world now wants to bless you with things. People want to bless you with things. It is time for you to step out and find your voice, express yourself, open up, sing out loud, be heard, because it is every bit of your time to shine, Scorpio. I love these messages from your ancestors regarding you connecting, you relating, you interacting, you having fun, awakening to a gift and ability that allows you to heal not only yourself, but those around you. You're being guided to not only find your voice, but in a way that allows you to understand and know that it must now be heard, that your expression, your gift to the world comes from within, comes from an understanding and overstanding of your journey and experiences. Every bit of your ancestors want you to get back to the basics, which simply means to simplify the things in your life, to reduce the amount of chaos, the amount of clutter, the amount of things required to be done, right? There's a sense of perhaps getting a schedule for the day and writing it out and sticking to it. Every bit of centering and balancing yourself, understanding how important the breath is. These are all glorious and beautiful messages that is sort of kind of guiding you to get back in alignment, to find yourself in the receptive mode of all that is about to come your way. And I sense that will be a lot. I really, really sense, Scorpio, you have a lot that is in store for you in this season. Let us find out what's going on in the world of my, Let's find out what's going on in the world of my Scorpios. Okay, Spirit. What do you have for my Scorpios? What are they currently going through that is causing their ancestors to guide them along this journey? We thank you, we honor you, and we adore you now, Spirit. What messages do you have for my Scorpios? So initially, we have the Six of Cups. 1 second, you guys. Beautiful, I found it. All right. Sorry about that. So we have the Six of Cups, which speaks of someone's past, which speaks of a time period that is already come and gone. We have the Six of Wands, which speaks of victory. And so perhaps you had victory over something that transpired in your past, something that was hard, difficult, something that brought a great deal of conflict and competition, chaos. We have the Eight of Cups. This was something that you had to walk away from, something that you invested a great deal of emotions and love, a great deal of time and energy, a great deal of hope, prayers, tears, pain. We have the Ten of Cups, which speaks of one's happily ever after, speaks of one's family, someone that they found themselves to want the Ten of Cups with, right? So they had to walk away from this person who, King of Cups perhaps, this person that they found themselves in a committed relationship, someone that perhaps they either had children with or wanted kids with, someone that they certainly believe themselves to be in a loving, happy, and joyous relationship, right? And so if they walked away at 8 of cups and they only were seeking 10 of cups, every bit of them had to walk away with a great deal of sorrow, sadness, hurt, and pain, right? Like all that which you invested. Someone who perhaps was not emotionally expressive. Someone who was perhaps mentally and or emotionally abusive. Someone who did not honor the connection, or someone, I'm getting this energy of not paying that person any attention. Right? And so I feel like this King of Cups could have wanted happily ever after with their person, could have also seen their Scorpio or vice versa as wish fulfillment, having a happily ever after ending to their love story. But they too walked away. Thinking they would go and get victory somewhere else. King of Swords. Let's find out who this King of Swords. First, let's do the King of Cups. Spirit, give us insight on as to who this King of Cups is in this reading. Who is this King of Cups representing in the reading? Is it my fellow Scorpion, or is it their person? Who is the King of Cups in this reading? Thank you, we honor you and adore you now. Who is this King of Cups in this reading, Spirit? We thank you, we honor you, and we adore you now. Who is this King of Cups, Spirit? Who is this King of Cups in this reading? We have the Hangman in reverse. So this is someone who is no longer stuck. Someone who perhaps received some form of enlightenment, and it has caused them to release themselves from being attached beyond their will, right? This is the energy of someone who has awakened to truth, to what was going on. Page of Swords, someone who, and it's in the reverse. And so I feel like this is, I'm getting the energy of someone who perhaps was manipulated by other people, and they found this out when they were in this energy of spying on their person, when they were in this energy of needing to, I guess, get this one up on whomever it is here that they are spying on and or watching. I get a, it's very interesting because, I mean, you guys, we already know, like, the Page of Swords is every bit of message of communication. But communication that typically brings fresh perspectives, right? Someone who is open to hearing and sharing ideas. And the fact that it's in reverse speaks of someone who is very defensive, someone who perhaps was gossiping and slandering the person's name who they are connected to in the past. This is someone who had manipulative tactics. This is someone who needs to know that the information that they share with others will not be kept private. Or perhaps information you share with this person, collective, will not be kept private. Every bit of it will be utilized for one's amusement and or perhaps one's growth. What is this? Who is this King of Swords, Spirit? Who is represented here in this King of Swords in this Scorpio reading? We thank you, we honor you, and we adore you now. Yes, who is being represented here in this King of Swords, Spirit? We thank you, we honor you, we adore you now. Who's being represented in this? So we have the Lovers. So the King of Swords is the person that was not chosen. And we have Seven of Wands, which speaks of someone who is defending themselves, someone who has to defend themselves against people who are attacking them. This is also a card that speaks of protection. And the fact that we have the Lovers in the reverse says that this is the person that was not chosen. Right? Because the Lovers speaks about choices. The fact that it's in the reverse and me asking Spirit, who is this King of Swords represented? It will be the person that was not chosen. The person that found themselves defending their position, their life, who they are. What transpired between this King of Cups and this King of Swords, Spirit? What took place between the King of Cups and the King of Swords? Or what will take place? We have the Chariot, someone moving on. Someone who has decided to leave this connection, leave this conflict, this chaos, this heartbreak. I feel like every bit of this King of Swords is this way because they are every bit of intelligent. They're extremely wise and smart, meticulous, every bit of strategic, and someone who is seeking the truth, someone who is always speaking truth. I get an energy of someone who has set firm and strict boundaries. I also get the energy of this being a same gender loving connection, two males or perhaps two females. I sense we already know why one is being led to move on, but we can find out. Let's ask Spirit. Spirit, why did this King of Swords move on? Why do we have this Chariot? What caused this King of Swords to move on? Any other insight and information? I'm getting it was because they weren't chosen. But the fact that we have the Fool in reverse speaks to someone who perhaps wasn't given an opportunity of a new start, someone who perhaps was rejected. And I love that it is the Fool in the reverse, right? The Fool representing the beginning of the tarot journey, the Fool's journey. And the fact that the Fool is here in the reverse only signifies that there is some sort of naive energy, someone who perhaps feared change, or I get this energy that was the lesson for this King of Swords here. It was whether or not they were going to have the power, the tenacity, the will to move on, even though they may have feared the unknown, even though they had no idea what was to come, even though they had so much love that was placed and planted, invested into this connection. It also can represent, this is wild, you guys. Follow me, Scorpios, and I'm only reading what I'm receiving, and that is every bit of the Fool in reverse could also signify that it is not the right time to risk or jump into something. It may mean that you're just being challenged by your fear of change or experiencing some form of hesitation to step out of your comfort zone. Perhaps it is telling you to gather yourself and create a plan prior to you moving on, prior to you moving forward. Hence why you are being told to connect with spirit, right? To tap in, to tune in and turn on. And so perhaps you are ready to move on. You're ready to leave the past behind. But spirit is telling you that you have not connected. You are not at your optimal self. And so there's a need to not rush it and to slow down, to pump the brakes and perhaps tap in, tune in, and turn on with your surroundings, with spirit, with your higher self, with your intuition, your psychic abilities, your gift to heal. Any other messages, spirit, pertaining to what is going on in the lives of my Scorpions? Because we certainly know what you need to do in order to tap in order to sort of kind of connect, right? Every bit of that is what you were guided by your ancestors to focus on in the now. And voila, out comes the Ten of Pentacles. Every bit of the ultimate wish fulfillment. Your family, your generational wealth. This is someone who is living an abundant life. And I mean abundant in every form and or fashion one can imagine. This is absolutely beautiful. So you are being halted in the now. You're being told to stop, to stand still, Scorpio, and do not take this leap of faith just yet towards your ultimate wish fulfillment, towards your generational wealth, towards your blessing beyond all blessings, and to interact and relate, to connect with your community, to get yourself out there and find yourself back around family, doing and or taking part in traditions, right? Try and find your nonverbal communication, your intuition and or higher self, and get messages about where it is you should go, how it is you should move, right? Raise your vibration. Stay in a positive energy. Awaken to your inner shaman, your gift to heal and heal oneself. Invoke that energy. Connect with your ancestors. Find your voice and make sure it's heard. Let us see what will happen if you heed the messages of your ancestors. What will be the outcome that you can expect, Scorpios? We thank you now. We have innocence. Beautiful, beautiful. This speaks of one who finds themselves in a constant state of letting go and forgiving, in a constant state of joy, happiness, in a constant state of adventure and exploration, wanting to be the life of what is, wanting to claim the hearts of others. Like, this is one who I get the energy from a child who, when we were little and would get ourselves in trouble, perhaps even got a spanking, a butt whooping, or whatever you would call it, and 15 minutes later, that same child is running back up to you saying, "Mommy, Daddy, can I get a hug? Can I have some Kool-Aid? Or can I have a lollipop? Or can I have a icicle?" Whatever it is, I could just see the kid no longer being angry, quick to recover and find themselves back in a high vibrational state. So it's kind of like you will perhaps remain in this state of joy. I feel like the fact that this child innocence is connected with the death card only speaks of a transformation having taken place, right? So you will have fully conceptualized your dark night of the soul, or perhaps your transformation from the Queen of Swords to the King of Swords. Perhaps you transformed from the Queen of Cups to the King of Cups to the King of now Swords. There's a lot of things that were illuminated to you as well. We have the Six of Seas, which speaks of pleasure, your life being pleasurable, things being joyous, fun, loving, happy. Like, again, the sun, illumination, right? So much is being uncovered and spoken about. So much is being handed and gifted unto you, Scorpio. A lot of love and emotions. A lot of love and emotions. You have another Maiden of Passion, sea card, speaking of one's abundant and overflowing heart, right? One who loves unconditionally, one who has the divine gift of the Sacred Heart, someone with unconditional love, someone whose love can heal the world. We have desires and we have child of consciousness. Every bit of the desires of your heart coming to pass. You having the ability to speak what it is that you wish into your life, to manifest a world whereby everything, and I mean everything, turns out to be pleasurable unto you and everyone else who partakes along with you. I love this energy of children and consciousness, right? There's this sense of being balanced, right? There's a sense of tapping in and knowing who you are and who it is that you choose to be. I get a sense of someone who loved healing their inner child, who found the healing of their inner child to be absolutely beneficial to one's life, to one's outcome and perspective on life. Any final messages, Spirit, that my Scorpios can look forward to if they heed the messages from their ancestors? We thank you, we honor you, and we adore you now. Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about, Scorpio. Wow. So we have the energy of Manipura. This is the this is the solar plex chakra. The solar plex chakra is the third chakra located right above the navel and bottom of the sternum. Its associated color is yellow. Its element that it is associated with is fire. It functions with willpower, drive, motivation, power, freedom, and the freedom to be oneself. Associated parts of the body, stomach, digestive system, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, small intestines, muscle spasms, muscle spleen, adrenals, central nervous system. The affirmation for the solar plex chakra is, I am positively empowered and successful in all my ventures. Every bit of what will take place if you heed and are obedient to the messages of your ancestors. Understand your willpower will be balanced out. Your every desire, everything that you put your energy and effort into will be successful. You have the third eye chakra, which is the sixth chakra, Ajna. I am attuned to the divine universal wisdom and trust my intuition. It is located above and between the eyebrows. Its associated color is indigo. Its element that it is associated with is ether, also known as space, the space between one physical object and another. It functions with intuition, perception, inner guidance, and clarity. Its associated parts of the body are the eyes, the sinus, the base of the skull, the temporal lobes, and the pituitary gland. Its affirmation is, I am attuned to divine universal wisdom and trust my intuition. When it is balanced, when your third eye chakra is balanced, you will have strong intuition, strong insight, strong ability to visualize things, and strong creative imagination. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Please understand that this is what is expected for you, Scorpios, if you heed the messages from your ancestors. Just push the brakes. Halt on leaving quickly out of this turmoil. Halt on leaving quickly with shutting out the past, right? There is every bit of a guidance to interact and relate, to connect and find nonverbal communication, messages from spirit. Raise your vibration state in a positive state. Find your voice. Get back to the basics. Awaken to your healing powers, gifts, and abilities, and see your life fulfilled, transformed, glorious, beautiful, bright, loving. This was absolutely beautiful, Scorpios. I hope you all loved and or enjoyed this message as much as I did. Every bit of me thanks you all for spending the time with me today. Until next time, Scorpios, please remember, everything is always working out for your greatest good and the greatest good of all. Namaste.